Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about the scandal unfolding in the North Carolina's governor race and how that will have major implications when it comes to the presidential race in North Carolina. Kamala Harris is probably favored now to win the election in the state of North Carolina, which is huge. It's one of the 7 most critical battleground states. That's Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. So, of course, North Carolina's 16 electoral votes plays a huge part in deciding the president in, such a relatively tight election. And Mark Robinson staying on the ballot, and yes, he is staying in the race. He will stay on the ballot. That absolutely provides a major boost to Kamala Harris. The governor's race is over, right? I mean, we've known that from almost the very start. The Democrat here, Josh Stein, has held a very strong lead throughout this entire race, especially in these recent weeks, after it came out that Mark Robinson said, some things, even before this sort of scandal, like at the level that we're seeing now, from, of course, the scandal that is emerging, just yesterday, reported first on CNN. I mean, I won't talk about it here, I made a video about it yesterday, but you can go see those details for yourself. But I mean, even CNN can't say, even on their website, not even on TV, but even on their website, they can't list a lot of what Mark Robinson said. It is a very damaging report, and Mark Robinson is absolutely unelectable. He'll probably lose by, I'd say, upwards of 20 percentage points in North Carolina, which voted for Donald Trump in the last election, meaning it is a Republican state. So, obviously, the Democrats, not just Josh Stein, but Democrats across the board, including the Harris campaign, is going to latch onto this because Donald Trump is very closely associated with Mark Robinson. I mean, very early on, right when Mark Robinson, he's the lieutenant governor, by the way, right when he announced his candidacy for governor, Donald Trump endorsed him. They have held multiple joint rallies together. So, of course, the Kamala Harris campaign is going to make this known among voters, and they're already doing it in an ad that they're running across the state. You won't be able to hear the video, but you get the gist of it. I mean, especially in the state where Robinson is running for governor of North Carolina. But you can just see the comments Donald Trump has made about Mark Robinson. I've been with him a lot. I've gotten to know him, and he's outstanding. He said that Mark Robinson is Martin Luther King on steroids. And I mean, just repeated comments. And of course, this is from the Harris-Walz campaign. So, this is important because if Mark Robinson is going to get crushed on the gubernatorial level by 20 points and he is closely associated with Donald Trump, then it is going to bring down Donald Trump altogether. I don't think that Donald Trump can win the state of North Carolina anymore. And before we go too in depth, let's just talk about how important this would be. I don't know what this map is, by the way. Don't look at that. I don't have Florida till I don't have Michigan. Likely, I'm not sure what I was using that for. But even let's just assume Texas and Florida are going Republican, so we just have our 7 core battleground states. Kamala, I mean, the election is over if Harris wins North Carolina, right? If we are, early on into election night or maybe the day following, if Harris looks very good in North Carolina, and North Carolina actually does count their votes fast, so that will be important on election night to see how the election is going. But a state like North Carolina, if that one is going blue, then we know it's over because, of course, North Carolina was the one of the 7 battlegrounds that did vote for Donald Trump in the 2020 election. They voted for him by 1.3. So, it would probably indicate that every other battleground state would go blue as well. But just for the purpose, I mean, let's just see how Kamala Harris's path to victory just opens up if she does carry North Carolina because of this Mark Robinson scandal. Well, you're at 242 already. Trump and Vance are only at 219 because of North Carolina. Michigan, you're probably almost certain to win. Nevada looks very good for you right now if you're Kamala Harris. So you've got Michigan, Nevada, extremely likely to go. You only need to pick off one more. Just one. You've got Wisconsin. She's crushing the polls there. Pennsylvania, new polls came out. She looks pretty good in Pennsylvania. Arizona looks very close, but I don't know. I won't check the average, but whatever. Georgia also looks very close, but North Carolina's going blue. Georgia almost certainly would as well. So, you pick. If you're Kamala Harris, you pick the one, but it really doesn't matter. It could be Pennsylvania, it could be Wisconsin, it could be Arizona, it could be Georgia, but it would probably be all of them. But now, I've always said if North Carolina goes blue, Georgia would as well. But this is an interesting case. Of course, they're only running this ad in North Carolina because it's only relevant in North Carolina. Most people across America don't know who Mark Robinson is still. So, just goes to show how this is important for North Carolina. This could absolutely boost Kamala Harris, just in the state of North Carolina. It gives her a huge boost in just one single state, but this one single state is so critically important, North Carolina. I mean, Donald Trump could win Pennsylvania. He could win Pennsylvania, and he's only at 238. It's still not even a close election. He could take Wisconsin. He's only at 248. He could take Georgia, and he's only at 264. More likely is that it would be traded with Arizona, and it's even less close. It's only 259 to 279, and he could also take Nevada. All she would need, wow, I didn't even realize this, honestly, but all she needs is North Carolina, Georgia, and Michigan, and she wins the election. We've talked so much about Pennsylvania, that's barely even a factor. You've got Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, a combined 27 electoral votes. Kamala Harris still wins with just Michigan, Georgia, and North Carolina. So, considering how close it is already in North Carolina, I'll mind you, no polls in North Carolina have been conducted and released after the whole Mark Robinson scandal and after, these ads that I showed have been airing across the state. So, we don't know the effect yet, and I'm extremely excited to see what the effect is. But you can just see how it's already so close. Donald Trump is ahead by just 0.1%. It's basically even, right? It's a razor-thin margin. It's basically even. That's well within the margin of error. 2 days ago, okay, Harris was ahead. So you could just see how one single poll could change the direction or who's leading in North Carolina. It's been going back and forth since, let's start at the beginning of September here. Donald Trump started with a lead of 0.5%. He got it up to 0.8. On September 9th, it was an even race. And then Donald Trump took back the lead on September 11th. Kamala Harris took back the lead on September 13th. Donald Trump took back the lead on September 15th. Kamala Harris took back the lead on the 18th. And Donald Trump took back the lead on the 19th. So, yes, it's razor thin, and it's been razor thin for so long. The last time anyone was leading by a point was on September 8th, 12 days ago. But no one has led by more than a point. That's crazy. Think about that. No one has led by more than a point in polling in North Carolina this entire race. And there's a few states that are like that. So, a small boost of just 1% at the very minimum, but it's probably going to be more like 2%, that puts you well in the lead relative to the standards that we have seen in North Carolina, throughout this race. Just a small boost from these ads, people associating Donald Trump with Mark Robinson, that can make all the difference in a race that is so razor thin. So this is important, this whole scandal. And I forgot to mention this. I'm sure you all figured, since I, would have mentioned it if he did, but Mark Robinson is going to remain on the ballot. The Trump campaign was trying to push him out of the race yesterday. Apparently, that they were in contact with the Robinson campaign, getting him to step out. Obviously, because of this, they know that is a threat. They know that Robinson hurts their chances. Being on the ballot hurts their chances in the state of North Carolina. But Robinson, for whatever reason, even though his campaign is absolutely doomed, he said he would stay in. And today was the deadline. At midnight of last night, the start of today was the deadline. I'm sure the story purposely came out right before the deadline so that, he had very little time to drop out, but he did still have a window. So, it's certified. The printing of the ballots has begun, and they're going out to overseas military. Governor for candidate, he is going to get crushed, and he is going to pull Donald Trump down with him in the state of North Carolina. I currently think Kamala Harris will win in the state of North Carolina, which is a flip from the 2020 election again. Donald Trump won it by 1.3. And I think that Harris will win by 1.5%. That is my prediction right now. So thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe down below.